Hello, this is Kirsten Smith, Collections Curator at the Alberni Valley Museum. Today, on Museum at Home, we're looking at Port Alberni's City Hall. It's one of 5 buildings on the City of Port Alberni's Community Heritage Register and was formally recognized by the city in 2006. This is the 3rd City Hall for Port Alberni, though the 1st City Hall for the amalgamated cities of Alberni and Port Alberni. Port Alberni's first City Hall was located in this building, owned by Port Alberni's first mayor, A.E. Waterhouse. It was built in 1903, but would not serve as City Hall until after the incorporation of the city in 1912. It was located on Kingsway Avenue at the foot of Angus Street, up behind the Carmore block. In this interior shot, we see the city's first clerk, Richard Blandy. The second City Hall was built in 1928. Here it's occupied by the Civil Defense Team during World War II. The building stood at Argyle and 5th, up across the street from the current City Hall building, and was demolished after the 3rd City Hall was built. The current building was opened on May 20th, 1959. The high school band played O Canada, keys were officially handed over, and the Minister of Municipal Affairs formally opened the building, though he gave the ribbon-cutting honor to Alice Krakenthorpe. Alice, born at the Anderson Mill in 1864, had been invited to unveil a plaque. As well as housing the city's administration, the new building also served as home to the Vancouver Island Regional Library. It was along the back of the building, accessed by the east entrance. It also housed the public health unit on the lower floor, accessed by the west entrance opposite the Capitol Theatre. As part of the celebrations, a number of gifts were given to the city, some of which are now in the Alberni Valley Museum. These include a painting of McCoy Lake by Anne Thompson, embroidered screens presented by the Chinese Nationalist League, lanterns from the Chinese Freemasons, and a desk clock gifted by CJAV radio station. The building was designed by Dexter Stockdale of the Victoria firm Wade Stockdale and Armour. John Wade took part in a number of architectural partnerships over the years, all of which were important in bringing the modern international style to Victoria. The modern style used a simplified form of structure and rejected ornamentation and its historical references. In addition to these characteristics, the international style, a subset of modern architecture, featured curtain walls and flat roofs while utilizing the technologies of glass, steel, and reinforced concrete. In the mid-20th century, the international style was the popular choice for skyscrapers and civic buildings. In 1959, when Port Alberni's City Hall was built, the international style it used was cutting-edge design that boasted the city's prosperity. A booming pre-amalgamation Port Alberni hit its peak in 1958. Its population of nearly 11,000 people had doubled in the previous 10 years. Residential building had increased 300% in the previous 5 years, and along with its twin city Alberni, it ranked 18th in Canada as a high-income area. And this modern new building exclaimed the fortunes of the town. Along with the federal building across the street, also by Dexter Stockdale, the 2 international-style buildings were designed to form the city's civic core. In City Hall, we see the use of steel and glass to create the curtain wall of windows and blue spandrels across the front. You won't see the spandrels today, as this heritage-defining characteristic was covered over in the 2016 renovations. The horizontal massing of the building, emphasized by the continuation of the flat roof over the open courtyard and the articulation of the upper and lower stories, is balanced by the vertical elements of the columns and window mullions. In 2003, faculty and students at the University of Victoria researched 8 samples of modern movement architecture on Vancouver Island, one of which was Port Alberni City Hall. They wrote, "Together, these structures represent a cross-section of the finest progressive, even visionary design of the post-war period, when Victoria and the island underwent rapid growth." In 1973, renovations were made by Carlberg Jackson and Partners of New Westminster. While maintaining the integrity of the original design and its adherence to the international style, the renovations closed in the open courtyard area while expanding interior spaces. The stairs leading to the main entrance, heated to melt any snow, were jackhammered out, and the fountain that graced the front courtyard was removed. Popular for many years, the fountain had been donated to the city by the Italian Canadian Society and was lined with tiles imported from Italy. In addition to the international style, the other character-defining elements that led to this building being added to the Heritage Registry include its prominent location on the edge of the Southport commercial area, its compatibility with the design of the Federal Building, now the Salvation Army, across the street, and its landscape setting that displays symbols of civic heritage. The shelter made from the timbers of the Anderson Mill, the first sawmill in the valley, the section of old-growth timber under that shelter, the War Memorial on the west side of the building. Here we see the celebrations in front of that memorial around 1960. And a lilac bush descended from the original plant owned by Port Alberni's first mayor, A.E. Waterhouse. City Hall is one of 5 buildings on the city's Community Heritage Register. Being on the register means that the city planner can get extra review time before any changes are made to heritage buildings, but doesn't afford the buildings formal protection. The only heritage building in the city with formal protection is the train station. Information about the city's 5 Heritage Registry buildings, the train station, City Hall, Rollin Arts Center, the Carmore Block, and the 1939 post office on Johnson Street can be found online at historicplaces.ca. Just search for Port Alberni. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching the Alberni Valley Museum's Museum at Home.